So here in Texas, we had like kind of a droughty year, and then it rained for like a couple weeks straight. And I discovered on my 242 that either the windshield seal is leaking or it's the sunroof. It could be either or. It's fairly common for either or to be leaking water, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the windshield seal here. And I'm just going to do like a quick fix until I can repair it proper, just to make sure that the carpets aren't going to be always soggy every time that it rains. So if you look closely, you can actually see where the moisture is built up underneath the glass. So it leads me to believe that this is the point of entry for the rain. Also, the front half of the carpets were completely soaked. I've dried up the passenger side, but it was both driver's side and passenger side. However, it was only in the front that was wet. The back half of the carpets were dry. So you're gonna want to go to the store and pick up some roof and flashing polyurethane sealant. I think they come in different colors, but this is black. And then also you're gonna want a roll of painter's tape. The thicker the better. Yeah, this combination of stuff should cost you like under $15. Here's a better look at the windscreen seal. You can see that this is for a 1977, so it's a different shape and it's got this big chrome piece. My 82 has a smaller chrome piece with the rubber where it touches the body. And you can also see how it looks like there's some rust that's been forming underneath the windshield seal. And this is something that it's a major repair, and just for now we're just going to try to mitigate any sort of damages. Yeah, so what's holding the seal on is the trim is held on by these plastic pieces, and the plastic pieces are embedded into butyl tape, and you can see here where it's just kind of smeared on the inside. And it's also in a channel that runs around the frame of the front of the car. The channel in which the windshield sits kind of looks like this underneath. It comes in and then it scoops down, and then there's actually a drain hole here for any sort of rainwater that actually gets into the channel to drain out. There's one on this side, and there's another one over here on this side. So yeah, any sort of water that goes in between here does have an exit point through the drain hole or just out the bottom of the seal if it needs to. And this is just a windshield frame that I cut off of a parts car just for repairs on other 240s. But yeah, it just kind of gives you a good idea of what it looks like underneath. And here you see all the butyl all dried up that's still stuck onto the frame itself. Ideally, you'd want these holes to be clear so the water can drain out and it doesn't pool and start the rusting process here. But it's not always it's not always something you can get to clear out. I can't really access that drain hole on my my early windshield, so if you know of a way to access it without disturbing the trim and the butyl, then let me know in the comments. But I'll let you know how I deal with a leaking windscreen for cheap. So if you look at the seal here, there's actually 2 points in which it contacts the car. There's the outer part of the seal where it contacts the body or the frame of the windscreen, and the inner part where it shares with the glass. And in my experience, this is the biggest leak spot, is where the trim meets the glass. So you want to take the painter's tape and put it on both sides of where the seal and the glass meet, and you want at least a 1/4 inch gap here. And this is just to protect the body and the glass from the sealant that you're going to be putting on. Yeah, so you just kind of go all the way around. It doesn't have to be really that pretty. You don't want it too wide, but you also don't want it too thin. I think about a 1/4 inch is the most aesthetically pleasing without compromising the actual point of the sealant. Now you just want to squeeze a nice even bead between where the tape is. It doesn't have to be completely flat. You're going to flatten it out with your finger later. Okay, here we have it, and it looks really messy now, but once you take off the tape, it should clean it up a lot. I'm gonna let it set for a little bit, but you do want to peel the tape off before it dries completely, otherwise it takes a seal with it. So I'm gonna check back in a few minutes and then pull the tape off. And here's how the sealant looks once it's you pull the tape off and it's been dried a little bit. It's very subtle. I also really like this roof and flashing sealant just because it says on the bottle that it can be applied even when the surfaces are wet. It dries quickly, it's semi-flexible, and it's also UV resistant. So it just rained pretty hardcore for like several hours, and I'm in the 240 now, and everything is completely dry. So I'm really psyched about that, and I'll show you the carpets here in a bit. So I just wanted to say that like I said before, the easiest the way for the rain to enter into the cabin is between the seal and the glass. So if you run a bead of sealant right along that perimeter, it should fix everything. If that doesn't fix it, you can run a bead of sealant between the body and the seal on the top side, and maybe even the edges. That might help a little as well. But I like to leave the bottom of the seal between the seal and the body completely free, just because anything that gets trapped in there, water or dirt or anything, you do want to an exit route for that to come out. You don't want to seal anything in that might already be in there. But a sealant between the glass and the seal should be fine. But anyways, this is just kind of I guess it's more of again another Band-Aid fix. It's something to keep the rainwater out of your car, so you can drive it and not have to worry about mold or like mushrooms growing or like anything else that the moisture can bring into the inside of your car. The actual solid solution, permanent solution would be you'd have to remove the windshield, get a new seal on, fix any sort of rust that's underneath where the seal and the windshield go into place. This is all like high dollar stuff, and it's not something that you can really do yourself. You possibly can, but you usually will have to hire a professional to get the glass out and in. If you want to reuse your windshield, there's a high possibility of it breaking while you're removing it to try to put a new seal in. From what I have been hearing, there has been a shortage in 240 windshields. I don't know if that's going to be like a permanent thing or if it's just regional, but that's another thing to worry about. If you take off your windshield and it breaks, and you can't find a replacement, you're kind of screwed. So this is
really easy, quick way. You can get it done in about like 10 minutes, and it costs like 15 bucks, and it keeps the water out of the car until you decide, if you ever really want to tackle it for real. But I think it's a good solution. I've used it on several 240s, and just it works.
So I'm using the paper towel here, and it's not picking up any moisture on the rug. Carpet's dry as well. And then here's the driver's side. There's a little moisture here towards the edge, and that's not, I don't think, because of the windshield. It's just because my door seal is messed up that I need to fix, but it's all on the edge. Nothing towards the center console. Also, I wanted to mention that there was a 50-50 chance that it was either the windshield or my sunroof that was leaking. The majority of the time I have found to be it's the windshield. And one of the things, aside from the moisture that I saw between the glass and the car, one of the things that led me to that conclusion is that my car is currently parked on an incline, and every time it would rain and the carpets would get wet, it was only the front of the carpets. The seats never got wet. The back seat, the back carpets were never wet. It was just the front where you put your feet, and then in the front seat area. So it just led me to believe that any sort of rainwater that was getting in the very front part of it, and not from the top where you would definitely get your seats all wet and stuff like that. So hopefully this helps you if you have any sort of wet carpet syndrome in your 240. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and consider subscribing. I will keep you updated on my projects next time. Thanks.